and teach them with the sling if you can, even if it's just loose and hanging or dangling. Just let them wear it just to get used to it, okay? So, Charlie, if you would, go ahead and attach the sling. I'm gonna go around on this side. Okay? Now, to start with, how do you cock the rifle? If you are right hand or right eye dominant, you want to roll to your left side, bring the rifle down, and use your knee to hold the buttstock and cock it. Now hold right there, Charlie. Notice he's using his left hand to hold the rifle up at an angle, and that keeps the rear sight off the ground. You can damage the sight if you don't do that. This also allows the BB to roll down better. Go ahead and close it. Okay, you drop a BB in the barrel, you're good to go. Now you're going to roll back over into position. Okay? Now I'm going to move his feet a little bit. Can I grab your feet, Charlie? You all right? All right, so, all right, go ahead, in position. So let's start back here. What do you see about his feet?
One foot is straight, and the other one is like a little bit like.
Well, but what about his feet?
They're pointing in the same direction.
Pointed in the same direction, and they're laid over on their side. If you put them up like this on his toes, they'd be wobbling. And when his feet wobble, his gun's gonna wobble. So we wanna lay our feet over the best we can. All right? Next, his left leg, because he's a right-hand shooter, is straight. In fact, if I drew a line from his heel here, or his foot, right up his leg, through his hip, up his left side, through his shoulder, up through his sling arm to the forestock. It's a straight line. Do y'all see that? It's a straight line, but that line is at an angle to the firing line or to the target. It's about 5 to 15 degrees. Okay? We call that indexing. And that's important. We want that line to be straight. We want it to be indexed. Somebody brought up that one leg is crooked or bent. Yes, he's hiked up his right knee. Why do you think he did that?
Balance. Balance.
It's a good guess, but no, not quite. A lot of people these days try to shoot with a very straight position with their legs straight out. But by hiking the knee, what that does is it causes the hips to rotate a little bit and takes the pressure off your diaphragm so you can breathe. So it allows you to breathe better. It also shifts your weight to the left side a little bit, okay? But the bottom part of his leg here is parallel with this leg, okay? The position of that knee and this leg is very, very important to natural point of aim. We'll talk about that in a minute. Come up his body. His hips and his shoulders are roughly parallel. The body is designed like I'm standing. Your hips, your spine, and your shoulders forms an I. That's the way God made you. The structure of your body. We want to be that way in prone. In every position we want that. Our shoulders and our hips are parallel. Our spine is roughly straight. Okay? We want to do that. All right, moving on down. He's got the gun placed into his shoulder. We want to make sure we put the gun high enough in the shoulder so our head can be down on it. We'll get to that in a minute. The gun's coming out here. He's got his trigger hand. You want to place your trigger hand so your finger can be straight onto the trigger. By straight, I mean like this, not like this. If I try to squeeze the trigger, I'm squeezing it up this way. Y'all see that? Instead, I want to have it so I can be straight, so I pull the trigger straight back instead of this way. All right? You also want to go ahead and put your finger on the trigger, Charlie. You want to have the finger on the trigger so that this part of the finger doesn't touch the rifle. The only thing that should touch the rifle is this part of your finger. The trigger touches right here. And you want to have it curved so that you can squeeze steady and straight back. Okay? If you put your finger on the side of the trigger when you try to squeeze it, you're going to push the gun to the left. If you put it around the trigger when you try to squeeze it, you're going to pull it to the right. We want to pull it straight back, okay? Going forward, his front hand. The biggest thing I can tell you about the front hand is, see these fingers? He's not gripping the rifle. They're just there, they're just laying there. Just wherever you want to put them. But he's not gripping the rifle and trying to hold and squeeze the rifle. The rifle is just sitting and resting on the palm of his hand, and that is critical. It's just a rest. We do not control the rifle with the front hand. In fact, how do we control the rifle? Any ideas? No? How about our trigger hand? This hand. This hand holds the rifle and gently pulls it back into the shoulder and controls the rifle. So the right hand has a lot of function. It's holding the rifle, it's securing the rifle, it's squeezing the rifle into your shoulder, and it's squeezing the trigger. The front hand is just like a sandbag. It's just a support. Okay? We've talked about the sling already, and you see how he's got his arm kind of around and inside the sling. That's very important. Two more pieces to this position. Notice his head and the cheek. His cheek is firmly onto the stock, or the cheek piece. Some people call it the cone. We call that, having the cheek on the stock, is your cheek weld.
Weld, W-E-L-L?
W-E-L-D.
Oh, weld, okay.
You know what weld means? Like when you try to join two pieces of metal, and you heat it up with a rod, and it melts the metal, and the liquids join up, and then it hardens back into hard steel. They're one piece now. They cannot come apart. That's welding, okay? That part in the middle where you join them is called the weld. We call this a cheek weld because we're joining our cheek to the stock so that your face is joined to the gun. You are now one piece. Now, what does that do? First of all, it helps to stabilize the rifle, but it also helps to stabilize your head and align your eye with the rear sight. If you got the gun down here and you're trying to look through the sight like this, your head's going to be moving all around and you're not going to be able to get your sight picture properly. Put it on the gun, now your head and the gun are mounted. They're one piece. Now, if it's aligned with the rear sight, no matter what, your head's aligned with the rear sight. You don't have to work at it. It's just there. So a cheek weld is absolutely critical. Now, where exactly should you put the stock? Your cheek. But are we all made the same? Are we all the same size? Do we have the same bones in our faces? The same shape? We're all different, right? Okay? If I shoot this gun, I have to get a cheek weld like maybe down here. Charlie's up here. Depending on where the bones in your face are and how God made them, you may have to put the cheek at a slightly different place so that your eye is aligned with the hole in the rear sight. That's what matters, is having your eye aligned with the rear sight and having a firm mounting point for your cheek. The exact placement of it doesn't matter, so long as you do it the same every time. Does that make sense? Find the spot that you've got to put it, and then you put it there every single time. Okay? Make a mental note when you find it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put it right here at my top of my jaw, or top of my tooth, or right here on my cheekbone, or down here on my jaw, wherever it is. Make a note of where it is. Maybe write it down. And then do it every single time for that position. Okay? The last part about the position, I mentioned it a while ago. Natural point of aim. We call this NPA. I cannot stress how important natural point of aim is. Have you ever built something out of cards, like a house or building out of cards? And you know, if you stack your cards just right, it's pretty strong, isn't it? Or if you're building with blocks and you put your blocks straight and stack them properly, it's pretty strong, isn't it? And when you get it all built, it's pointing, let's say you build a house, the door is facing that way, and it's pretty strong. But what if you say, I don't want my door to face that way, I want it to face this way? So you just take the top of your building, your cards or your blocks, and you just twist it. And all the members of that house, the structure, is twisted and leaning over. What's going to happen? It's going to fall apart. It's not going to be strong anymore, right? Okay? Well, that house of cards or that blocks, when you built it, its natural point of aim was facing that way. And if we want to change it, we've got to move where it's contacting the ground, keep the same structure, but rotate where it contacts the ground so it's pointed the way we want it to go. It has a natural point of aim, and we want to change it. In this case, we build this nice position. Now, Charlie's pointed at lane 10. What if he wants to shoot lane 9? Now, what did he just do? Go back to lane 10, Charlie. Okay? He's on lane 10, but he wants to go to lane 9. How did he do it?
He just ruined his vertical alignment.
Not only his vertical alignment, he ruined the whole position. He changed the structure of his body, the alignment and the way he organized his bones and everything about his body. Okay, now, Charlie, you really should be pointing probably at lane 9 anyway. So look at lane 9. Put an aim at lane 9. I'm going to build this position up. And now, in order to go to lane 10, here's what I want you to do, Charlie. I want you to move your hips to aim the rifle at lane 10. So move your hips towards me. Your hips. Just there you go. Move on over, feet and all. Bring it on over. Come on. So what we want to do is we want to keep the whole position the same and pivot on this front elbow. The front elbow is like you had a stake driven right down through here, and everything pivots around this elbow. And you swing everything else around behind it to get your gun on target. Because how do we aim a gun? Anybody know? Dad, do you know? How do we aim a rifle?
I mean, I can tell you how I set my sight picture up, but
Well, there's sight picture, but your sight picture is really just to verify that the gun is aimed at the right place. We actually aim the gun left and right by our position.
oh, okay.
We don't just go like Charlie did to start with. He was here and then he wanted to go to the left, so he just went like this. That's not how we aim the rifle. We aim the rifle by moving the position around, keeping the same position.
That's good.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Natural point of aim. If the gun is not high enough or if it's too low, you can shift your hips forward and backwards. Or you could slide your hand forward or back. Okay? But that's prone position. Any questions?